In this video, I'll be showing you how to place a rear, front, lower, forward control arm on a Nissan Maxima. This is located under the vehicle behind the rear wheels. Let's get started. Now let's remove our rear wheel. I'll be using a 21mm socket to remove the 5 lug nuts. We're going to remove this trim to gain access to our bolts. It is held down by 3 10mm bolts. So remove those and hold the trim up while you do so. Set it aside. We're going to place a pole jack on our lower control arm to support our suspension. We're going to start with our innermost bolt on the subframe. We're going to break free our 21mm nut on our alignment bolt while holding the bolt side with a 21mm wrench. Remove your nut. Remove your washer as well. And set these aside for now. We're going to remove our 2 middle bolts. These are 2 18mm. We're going to move on to our last bolt and nut, which is also a 18mm on both sides. So break it free. If it's spinning, support the other end with a wrench. And remove the bolt from the other side. If it's stuck inside, lightly tap it out with a punch and hammer. I'm going to take a pry bar and now separate both control arms. I'm going to now lower our pole jack and reposition it to the front portion of the control arm. Now let's go ahead and remove our rear bolt and nut. Break the 18mm nut free. Remove the bolt as well. Now we're going to take a pry bar and separate our knuckle from our lower control arms. We're going to pry from under the knuckle. Do the same for the other one. And lift up. Now slowly lower your pole jack to release the tension of the coil spring. With these 2 bolts out, let's finish removing our first bolt. I'm going to tap the other side out lightly with a hammer. Once it's in the bushing, you could use a punch. While you do this, ensure you make no contact with your fuel tank. Now lower your stand and pry in between both control arms. We have to turn it clockwise. Now we have access to remove it. And there it is. We're going to clean our mating surfaces for our control arms, starting with the ones on the subframe. Use a wire brush to clean any rust away. Do this on both sides. Also on our lower control arm as well. And finish this off with some brake cleaner and a rag. Now we're going to apply some penetrating fluid to the mating surfaces as well to make installation easier. So this is going to allow the bushings to slide right in. We're going to take a pry bar and pry the lower control arm towards the back of the vehicle. While we do this, slide in your new forward lower control arm, top bushing location, and slide it over. Release and align the bushings. Now once it's in place, working on the lower control arm, and ensure it's flush. We'll use the front outer portion of the lower control arm. Tap it in place if needed with a rubber mallet, and use your pry bar to fully align it. Now we're going to insert our bolt. Continue working it back and forth until it seats in the bushing. Now lower your pull jack and reposition it on the rear outer part, and lift up once more. Now reinstall the knuckle on the lower control arms. Hold the knuckle and with the other arm, pry this portion up and out. Use a long pry bar and slide it over. And work it in the control arms. While we're here, we're going to insert our bolts. Work it free with a pry bar until they fully slide in. Do the same for the front. Once it's partially in, finish installing it with a wrench. Once you have enough clearance, finish with your ratchet. Over your pull jack. And we're going to position it on the front inner part of the lower control arm. Now we can finish installing our bolt with a hammer. Now release your pull jack and set it aside. Now hand thread on your nuts. And snug them down. Hold the other side with a wrench if it's spinning. For our alignment bolt, we're going to insert our washer and hand thread on our nut as well. Now snug down the nut side while you hold the other side with a wrench. Now for our front two bolts, hand thread them on. And snug these down as well. We're going to torque these middle two bolts down to 82 foot-pounds. We're going to move on to our two knuckle bolts and torque these down to 87 foot-pounds. Fit spinning secure with your wrench. And lastly, for our alignment bolt, which is 108 foot-pounds. We're going to install our plastic trim panel and snug down all three of our 10mm bolts. And that completes our install. Take the vehicle for a road test and get an alignment done at your local shop. Now let's reinstall our wheel. Now we're going to hand thread on our 5 21mm lug nuts. Now we're going to snug these down in a crisscross pattern. Now we're going to torque these down to 83 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.